this has been a big allegation against the party that you promote Parivarwad. You promote political families right from the top. So with this, the message to the people is that here is a man from the grassroots, and we have elevated him. He has no mai baap. It's not as if he's got a father who's a big politician, but he has grown up the ranks by his own hard work, and the party has rewarded him.
ਅੱਜ ਕਾਂਗਰਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਗਰੀਬ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਬਿਠਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਮੇਰੀ ਔਰ ਸਾਡੀ ਔਕਾਤ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ
The faction-ridden Punjab Congress delivered a huge surprise when it chose 58-year-old Charanjit Singh Channi to be the next Chief Minister. Channi will also be the first Dalit CM of a state where this post had become the monopoly of Jat Sikhs. We bring you the reasons why Channi was chosen by the Congress as Captain Amrinder Singh's successor.
Mr. Charanjit Channi is the first Dalit CM of the state. Traditionally, Punjab has always had Jat Sikh CMs. So it's always been a Sikh and it's always been a Jat. Jat is the land-owning community, the prosperous landowners of Punjab. So be it Badal, Beyant Singh, and more recently Captain Amrinder Singh, and also Pratap Singh Kero. Initially, when Punjab was organized as a Suba, when Punjab came into existence in 1966, he was the chief minister. So they have all been Jat Sikhs, barring Gyani Zair Singh. But he was also not a Dalit. He was an OBC, I guess. So Charanjit Singh Channi's his elevation as the first Dalit CM is very significant because we have probably the largest percentage of Dalits in Punjab as part of our population. So 1/3 of our population is Dalit, and there is a belt called Doaba. So Punjab is divided into 3 belts: Doaba, Majha, and Malwa. So in Doaba, they say in the 2021 census, the percentage could go up to 40%. So 40% of people in Doaba are Dalits. So this is an excellent move by Congress because in one stroke, they've removed that grouse that the Jat Sikhs, despite the fact that their population continued to fall. So Jat Sikhs are now, it's estimated, they are just 25 to 28% of the population. But they've always got the lion's share of seats in every cabinet, not just the Congress cabinet, in the Akali cabinet as well. So for once, the balance was askew. So for once, it's being put in order, as in you will have a Dalit CM. So they hope that this will help them electorally as well. The opposition, including BJP, so they had all been hammering home this point during the canvassing, etc., that if elected to power, they will have a deputy chief minister as a Dalit. So Akalis had said this, and Akalis had also forged an alliance with Bahujan Samaj Party. So it was their way of mopping up Dalit votes, because as you can see, 1/3 is a large number. 1/3 of a population is a very large number. So they had not only joined hands with BSP, they had also promised that if elected, we will get a deputy CM, a Dalit deputy CM. AAP, which has a large number of Dalit MLAs, AAP did very well in the reserved constituencies. So AAP has also been saying the same, and AAP party chief in Punjab also happens to be a Dalit. So they were pandering to Dalits, and even BJP. So BJP went a step ahead and said that if we come to power, we will have a Dalit CM. So now, with this one step, Congress has checkmated all of them. So this is the second reason why they had it. Channi also happens to be a Sikh. So yesterday there was this buzz that they plan to appoint Sunil Jakhar, the former PPCC chief, as the chief minister. And so there was a division within the party, differences within the party itself. So you first had Ambika Soni, veteran Rajya Sabha leader, saying that Punjabi Suba was carved for Punjabis. it was carved to take care of the aspirations of the Sikhs, the aspiration for leadership positions. So how can you not have a Sikh as the chief minister, right? And then there is another CM probable. His name was also a minister who is today Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa. He also put his foot down. He said, no, we cannot have Jakar because it will set a precedent that will be difficult to roll back. For all you know, we will always end up having a Hindu as the chief minister in Punjab, which is the only state where you can actually have a Sikh as the chief minister. So Channi is a Sikh as well. So he ticks that box as well. So he's not only a Dalit, he's also a Sikh. So there's no opposition to him. Within the party also, there are lots of groups. There's been a lot of infighting in Punjab Congress. There have been warring groups with Sidhu on the one side, Captain Amarinder on the other side. And of course, there are a lot of MLAs who have their own grouping under what we call a Maja Brigade. So this gentleman, Mr. Channi, has acceptability amongst all these groups. He's supposed to be a very suave politician who gets along, who knows how to pull people, who knows how to get along well with people. So as far as Congress is concerned, I think this must have weighed in on their mind that if we were to have a chief minister who is at daggers drawn, it kills the whole idea of a rejig, because the former chief minister had to go because he had this huge opposition from within. The last thing they want is to install a chief minister who will lead to more infighting. So Channi is a safe choice. So you will not have Sidhu opposing him. You will not have the Maja Brigade opposing him. And most importantly, Captain Amarinder Singh may have bowed out, but now he's trained his guns at Sidhu. But he will not do the same for Channi, because Channi happens to be a Dalit. So everybody will be very sensitive to that. So there will be no one, hopefully, no one from within the party training their guns at Channi. Channi is a grassroots politician. So unlike the tradition where you have a minister or an MLA who's come to power only because of the pedigree, because his father was a politician, well-known politician, etc. In his case, he's risen from the ranks as a student leader. So he was earlier a municipal councillor and of a small town called Kharad, which is on the outskirts of Chandigarh. So he's a self-made politician. So which kind of widens his appeal? It's easy for him. It's easy for the party to sell him as, a people's man, as he's another Joe, another common man who's made it big by dint of his own hard work. So there is no family, there's no political family or a political power backing him. That here we are as a party, because this has been a big allegation against the party that you promote Parivarwad. You promote political families right from the top. So with this, the message to the people is that here is a man from the grassroots and we have elevated him. He has no Mai Baap. It's not as if he's got a father who's a big politician, but he has grown up the ranks by his own hard work, and the party has rewarded him by reposing their faith, reposing their confidence in his ability to lead the party. I think that was another factor that went in Channi's favor. We have just 4 months to go for the elections. Traditionally, whoever is the Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee chief is generally becomes the CM face for the next election. In 2017, Captain Amarinder was the PPCC chief, right? And then he took over as the chief minister. So now Sidhu is the PPCC chief. And the assumption is that eventually, if the party comes to power, he will have a stab at he'll have a chance at the CM seat. And Channi is considered more pliable. He is not likely to, decide that, no, I will not let go of the seat. I think that's what the assumption is. So if I look at it, if we zoom out, these are the possible factors that may have led to his elevation.